Hey YouTube, it's AR-15 guy here today, and I wanted to do my first prepping video. And what I mean by that is I'm into guns, as you can see, and in my other videos you've seen, and you know, the gun community tends to be a prepping community as well. So I wanted to do my first prepping video and see what you guys thought. But my prepping video isn't going to be like most prepping videos. My prepping video is going to be prepping for something that maybe you didn't really think about. As I said in my last video, I've got two preteen daughters. They just turned 12 this summer. And so this prepping video is going to be more about prepping for the introduction of boyfriends. And I know that, you know, it's easy to pass that up, but it's time for us as men to stand up to the plate and prep for these situations. And I want to be the one in control of what happens to my daughter, because I'm ultimately going to be responsible for it. So I've come up with some ways for us as men to continue to keep control of that aspect of our daughters' lives, in a subtle way, of course, in a way that's not too intrusive and may not even be noticed by our daughters. So I got 5 or 6 steps that I want to go over in prepping for my daughters to enter that age of dating, and things that we can do. You know, they've already started talking to boys and all that sort of thing. So I think the first step we as fathers can do is take our daughters out shooting as much as possible. Take them out shooting. You know, if they have Facebook pages, then we definitely want to upload those pictures of them shooting and tag them in it so that it automatically shows up on their Facebook page. And it'll just look like good father-daughter fun, which it is, but there's also an underlying motive there. So go shooting lots, take lots of pictures, let her handle your AR-15, let her shoot your you know, your Glock 19, and you know, if she's old enough and capable enough, you know, let her shoot your 45, and just, you know, take pictures of that, maybe even a video clip of that, and then telling her how good a shot she is, and then uploading those to Facebook and tagging her in them. Because what that's going to do is any boys out there are going to go through her Facebook page and, oh, look at that. Then they're going to see her and her dad spending time together shooting guns. 2 things. It's going to show that she can shoot guns, which can be intimidating to boys. And 2, it's going to show that there are firearms in that house, and that maybe that's not quite the daughter you should be messing with. So that would be the first step. The second step, if a boy still is making contact with your daughter and is still talking to your daughter, and your daughter just can't, you know, stop talking about him, the second step to that would be, you know, suggesting to your beautiful daughter that she gets a haircut. You know, nothing too radical, but, you know, fairly short. You know, just something that says, I'm still figuring out stuff. So, you know, now she's shooting, her hair's a little shorter, might show that she has a little bit of tomboy in her. You know, that might scare off some boys. So, you know, you've probably got about 50% now that are they're out of the picture. So now you've got the last 50%. You know, maybe their dad's a hunter or a shooter or in law enforcement or military or something. So they're not, you know, too put off by that. I'd say then the next step would be is tell your daughter to go ahead and invite the boy over. You know, have them come over. And you can do the whole I'm cleaning my gun routine, you know, on the kitchen counter or on the kitchen table. That's one good idea, but by this time he already knows that that you have firearms, and that trick's kind of played out a little bit. So I'd say the best way to go about the third step would be to take your largest caliber firearm, whether it be your rifle or your shotgun, and get a Sharpie, and take some spent cartridges as well as some unspent cartridges, and just start writing random boy names on there. Jim and John and Mike and, you know, whatever. And then the boy that your daughter's been talking about, make sure and put his name in there. And then you can get like an old, you know, plastic case that like used to put baseballs in, you know, signed baseballs. You know, maybe put it in there and put it, you know, put the lid on it, and set all those across the top of your mantle. And, you know, maybe have a light shining on the one that's in the case, you know, with that boy's name that's coming over. And then when the boy gets there, invite him in. Tell him you'll go get your daughter, you know, sit him in a seat close to the mantle. So that way, you know, because he's going to get interested and kind of curious as to what all that is up there. And you know that because you're a guy and you were a boy once. So you'll go upstairs to get your daughter, or into the other room to get your daughter. And you'll take just long enough for him to get kind of a view of what's going on. And he'll see those. And then he'll see his name in the one in the plastic case. And maybe that'll get his wheels turning. Especially if there's some spent ones already up there. You don't even have to say anything. He's gonna put all this together on his own. And so they'll go, you know, they'll go hang out, and they'll go play or whatever. And if that doesn't scare, that should scare about, I'd say, you should have about 75% of your threats gone. With that and the stuff that you've done before, you're down to about 25% that's going to still stick around. So what I'd say is the next step is going to be kind of two parts. The first part is going to be something that you're going to be able to use against the poor kid, I mean the boy. And the second part will be something that should get rid of all 100%. We should be pretty much covered by the time this step is done. So if he hasn't bugged out because of the shooting and because of the, you know, short haircut and the tomboy, and he hasn't bugged out because of the spent shell casings and one with his name on it, that all hasn't scared him. Then you invite the young man into your house. You know, hey, why don't you bring your little friend over? And she'll bring him over, or she'll have him come over, and she'll be off doing something, you know, because that's what girls do. They want to make the entrance. And so you'll say, hey, Tommy, why don't you come over and have a talk with me? And you'll sit him on the couch. And instead of keeping a good distance between you, just get real close. You know, just real close. Put your arm around him and say, Tommy, we are a close family. We're a close family. And, you know, you're just going to have to accept that. We are very close. And you can, you know, put your arm around him and kind of give him a little bit of a hug. You know, maybe whisper in his ear a little bit, hey, we are very close. And, you know, he's at this point going to get kind of freaked out. You know, this is kind of creepy. Which creepy is what you're going for. Really, it is. Creepy is what you're going for. So the conversation will go on, and you'll be like, you know, she still likes to come in our room at night when she gets scared for protection. And, you know, she likes to sleep in our room once in a while. You know, that doesn't have to be true, but it's going to be true for this case. You know, she still likes to come in and feel protected and feel safe. And as this continues, you'll be able to say, you know, I'm going to be there for my little girl for as long as I live. And if she needs me to come over in the middle of the night just so that she can feel protected, me and her mom will be jumping in the car and driving over there just so that she'll feel protected. Just so she'll feel protected. And you really need to drive that home. That we are going to be there all the time. We're going to be there for her. We're going to be there to pick her up. What this is going to do is completely make him feel unneeded. And so he's going to have two options: stick around and feel unneeded, or just buzz out. And if he buzzes out, hey, you know what, sweetie, I'm sorry, he obviously wasn't for you. And you've got a good, you know, get out of jail card there. If he decides to stick around, you just continue to prove to him how much you're going to be there, how often you're going to be there, showing up at random times, making sure your daughter's protected. Maybe rack your shotgun when he's there. You know, go up to your room, act like you're putting things away and rack your shotgun, just to remind him. At some point, he's going to buzz out. So that should take care of about 99 to 100% of all the boys. So, men, this is a must-see video. I definitely say share it. Make sure you're taking notes, because this is life or death. It is. Do you want your daughter ending up on 16 and pregnant and not doing anything with her life, or do you want her to make something of herself? So this is very serious. You got to make sure she got a plan in place. You know, and someday she'll probably come to you, oh, I just found out all the things you did. You'll be able to say, baby, it was for your best interest. So I hope you find this video interesting. I hope you find it educational. I hope you took some notes. Hope you'll pass it along to your friends. And so this is my idea of prepping. Prepping for my daughters to enter their teen years. And these are some of the steps that I'm going to take to make sure that my daughters stay safe. Because let's face it, guys, we're guys. We can remember when we were boys. So this is AR-15 guy, and I hope you have a great weekend.